Hi, this is Christina Adams. This is the place where we talk about God, Christianity, and life. Right now, I want to give you some life hacks that I have used to practice godliness. These are things specifically that I've used while I'm in traffic. We've all been in traffic before, and it can seem very frustrating, uh, like you're not being very productive, you're not doing anything. And these are some things that I've used. I've taken that time when I would have been frustrated or would have been uh, just not enjoying myself. And I've taken that time and figured out ways that I can use, ways that I can give it to God. So these are three things specifically that I've practiced doing while I'm in traffic. The first is to bless those who curse. These are the people who, cut in, or they glare when they pass you, or they make moves that you might consider to be not safe, or I got originally from Dallas Willard. He talks a lot about how driving in traffic is a great way to practice blessing those who curse, and to get into the habit of being able to do that so that you can then use that same habit in other areas of life as well. But this is also something that I got from my mom. And growing up, my mom has a great perspective on driving, and she would say someone would pass us by really fast, and she would say, "Oh, maybe they need to go to the hospital," and or maybe there was a family emergency. And at first, I would like look at the people that would pass us and be like, I don't think that's really the case. But the thing is, the more I thought about it, the more I realized that what my mom said was a really good perspective to have, because sometimes we don't really know what's going on in other people's lives. We don't know what kinds of stress they have. We don't know what kinds of family things are going on, or what kind of issues that they've had with friends, what kinds of troubles that they're currently going through. And there very well could be emergencies that they're trying to get to, and or they're trying to process as they're driving, and they're processing more than they're driving. And it's that then is a really great opportunity for us who know God and love God to be able to pray for that person, and to be able to pray for God to be involved in that person's life and involved in that person's situation, whatever it might be. Now, that's not always the case. Sometimes they have no life emergency, and they're just, wanting to drive like that. And those are good people to bless too, because they probably need it too. So uh, the second one is to rejoice when others get to go first. This is something that I've specifically used for traffic lights. I've always considered traffic lights to be the time drain of uh, just sucking the time away from me. And I'd see, and I would think, just go. And I'd try to get there, and then it would turn yellow, and then it would turn red. And it's like, no, I almost made it. But um, that's just me and my driving. But when I get to lights, I was like, okay, well, I'm going to view this as an opportunity to think of others, and to uh, basically rejoice in the fact that they get to their destination of just a little bit sooner than they were. Plus, also, oftentimes those people were waiting at that light for a minute, 2 minutes, uh, and I just arrived, and it's good that they get to go, since they have been waiting for the chance to go for that long. And that's just something that I've been practicing, and I found it really is helpful for me. It changes my whole perspective now on red lights, because I can get to a red light and not feel the pressure of not being able to go, but be able to say, oh, this is my opportunity to look at others and say, oh, you get to go, and I'm glad that you get to go. And when it's my turn, then I'm glad that I get to go too. But I am glad right now that others get to their destination. The last thing is to be patient. This is uh, always a big deal, especially when you're in traffic, because you can be behind people, and then everyone's going slow, and um, you can just have this sense of urgency, or this sense of just, you want people to move, and part and let you go through, or there's just all sorts of, you just want to get there. And then when you get out of the traffic, then there's this real temptation to try to make up for whatever time you might have lost. This is something that I've had, that just that feeling of wanting to be able to make up for that lost time. But there was I was dry due. If I managed to save those, 5 minutes or something, or return those 5 minutes, like what happens, even, and this is true even if I get stuck at a red light, or like 3 or 4 red lights, what would I be doing if I got home or got to where I was going 5 minutes faster? And I started thinking about it. I was like, well, I'd be taking off my shoes 5 minutes earlier. I'd be sitting in my chair 5 minutes earlier, or like checking social media 5 minutes earlier, or, like starting dinner, or if I was going to visit someone, I'd be, talking to them 5 minutes sooner. But eventually those 5 minutes are gone. And the five extra minutes I might have had catch up to me if I hadn't gone the same speed. Those 5 minutes catch up until, I go to sleep at the same time I would have normally gone to sleep. And those 5 minutes were somewhere else in the rest of the day. Or at the very least, those 5 minutes are gone because I wake up at the exact same time. I don't know. It's just something that I've thought about. And but I used it to say, well, what would I actually be doing? And to also think about what I do with my time. Am I using my time constructively? Is it really that important that I have 5 minutes? And then even beyond that, what am I doing to myself as I'm thinking about traffic and not wanting to be where I am and wanting to be somewhere else? What happens to me is that then I become irritable, and I'm frustrated with what's happening, and I just want it to end. Whereas if I had instead spent that time where I'm stuck in a car in on a highway or somewhere else on the road and not able to be home, I can spend that time with God and say, well, when I get to home, that's when I get there. And that kind of stressed and worried about, trying to get home so I can rest, or so I can relax, or so I can, get started on the next project thing that I need to get done. But if I'm thinking about my own perspective, and me just being with God and being able to share traffic with God, I mean, He's there with us. So, but yeah, that whole thing, it changed my just the way I was viewing traffic, and I was able to relax more. We're able to rest, and to appreciate being with God, and to appreciate being with those that I'm around as well. Because then it was much easier to say, "Oh yeah, go ahead and go in front of me. That's okay." Because I'm only half a second behind you, or 15 seconds behind you, and it doesn't hurt me to be 15 seconds behind where I might have been. So those are 3 of my life hacks. They are, again, the first, to bless those who curse you. The second is to rejoice when others get to go first. And the third is to be patient. So what about you? What kinds of life hacks do you use to practice godliness while in traffic, or while you're driving? Just write me a comment and let me know. I appreciate it. Thanks. God bless.